You know, there's been an epidemic seeming of violence in our city. A year ago, when our ministry team met, I gave them the sermons that I'd be preaching for 2017. And on this Sunday, and after we made some changes to the schedule, on this Sunday, I'd be preaching about stopping the violence, 10 Commandments. Little did we know at that time when God said, preach this sermon on this day, that there'd even be a ceasefire in the city, an attempt, people saying all throughout the city, let's try to make it through a weekend when nobody gets killed. Our team went to work planning things around service, and this morning at 7:15, we were so blessed. President of our city council, Brother Jack Young, won't you stand? Came to worship with us and talk to us, and has even stayed for this service. He and I have been friends for a long time. But and in this service, asked another one of our friends from the city to come and talk to us as a congregation, and that's the right song, Brother Alston. I asked another friend to come and dialogue with me about what's happening and what it's all about. The psalmist, I want you to put your hands together and greet the mayor of the city of Baltimore, Mayor Catherine Pugh. Come on, put those hands together. Let's give her a new psalmist welcome. You know, I've known the mayor for, oh my God, a long time. I can really say almost the whole time I've been in ministry, we've been friends. I've known her from the time as a community activist, working to make change happen, dedicating her life to change. And incidentally, persons who do lead city government are not novice. They are not new to this. This is not their first rodeo. I knew Jack Young when he was running for the 2nd district seat in Baltimore City, 2nd councilmatic seat. And now he serves as city council president. Catherine Pugh worked from neighborhood to neighborhood, community group to community group. And now she serves as the mayor of the city of Baltimore. 2 distinguished leaders. And Madam Mayor, since you've taken over, you've had a big weight on your shoulders.
Yes.
No one wants to inherit murder rates and death rates, but there's nothing you can do about that.
Well, Bishop, let me first say, I want to say good morning to my partner in city government, Jack Young, because he's truly been a great partner, and I want to thank him for that. Give him, please, another round of applause. Bishop, let me just start out by saying that I truly believe that everything that I've done to this moment has prepared me to lead the city. And in spite of the challenges, I pinch myself every morning that I get up to do this work. But in 2015, and I don't want Freddie Gray to be the narrative for Baltimore City.
Amen.
But Freddie Gray's death shined a light on neglect in this city that has been going on for decades. And it's hard to fight for something when you don't have partners fighting with you. And that's why I'm really grateful for Jack Young, because he fights with me. And we recognize that that is not the narrative we want for our city. And crime has been spiking in this city since 2015. And everybody knows that because of the violence that happened in 2015, we were cited by the Department of Justice. And we were told that we needed to come under a consent decree. And I can tell you, it was to my surprise when I walked into office on December the 6th, and I had some council people standing. We were doing, I believe it was Jack Young's giveaway for the holiday. And one of the councilmen said to me, "You need to sign that consent decree." Well, what I need you all to know was that while the document of 164 pages had arrived in City Hall in August and September, nothing had been done. And so Ferguson, with 50 police officers, took 13 months to craft a consent decree. New Orleans, with half the police force that we had, took them 13 months. So in 60 days, my team rolled up their sleeves, working 16-hour days to craft a consent decree because Baltimore City had the need for a consent decree because we did not have confidence in our police department, and the lack of respect by the community and the police department for the community did not exist. And so we felt that it was really important to put that consent decree in place. So I want you to know that not only did we get it crafted and done in 60 days, we got it signed by a federal judge. We are now in the last stages of that in terms of hiring the monitoring team. We've set up the Citizens Advisory Committee that will oversee this process as well. But that's not what's going to solve crime. What that is going to do is help us to monitor, train, and activate our police department in such a way that they will gain the respect and confidence of the community. What has caused crime to continue to exacerbate in our city is the lack of attention to neighborhoods and communities, real programs for youth in our communities, the increased drug addiction in our city, the lack of responsible drug treatment in our neighborhoods, pushing drug treatment in neighborhoods that are already abundant, devaluing people who live in those neighborhoods. And so I believe that it is the responsibility of the leader of the city to change not only the narrative, but the direction that the city has been going in. And when I think about the number of illegal guns, that are on our streets, and I tell everybody, we're not trying to keep people from getting legal guns. If you want a gun, there is a process that you can go through, and you can obtain a legal gun. But illegal guns on the streets of our city are killing our people. 89%, and you all need to hear this, 89% of the criminal activity that occurs in our city is being done with illegal guns. And I tell people I am absolutely concerned about mass incarceration of African American males, because that's not the direction that we're trying to go in. However, illegal guns should not be handed in anybody's hands. And what we found is that in these cases, and it's interesting because I participate in the war room of the police department, not one time, not two times, not three times, the average person carrying an illegal gun has been in contact with the criminal justice system between 9 and 11 times. That is just unconscionable. Not only am I concerned about them, I'm also concerned about the lives of the people that we lose on it. 900 lives have been lost in this city through illegal guns. And so we've got to get them off our streets, but at the same time, we have to put our hands on our young people, because what we find in terms of drug addiction in our city is that they're now recruiting young people at earlier and earlier ages because they don't feel that the only thing that they will end up being is in the juvenile justice system, and we don't want them there either. And
how do you then say, what would you say to New Psalmist and probably every other church? How can we join you?
Well, let me just say this. There is light at the end of the tunnel. We put 8,600 young people to work this summer. More than any...
How many?
8,600.
Say that again.
8,600 young people to work this summer.
Now that's more than has been ever
more
done.
than ever before. My goal next year is to get 9,000 to 10,000 young people working, and then to have another 1,000 young people to be able to have jobs year-round. And we have got to focus on tracking our young people from the moment they enter school to the moment they exit. And I'm talking about having our 12th graders have a work plan for their life. You know, we need to know if you're going to college, where are you going? If you're going to the armed services, when are you going? If you need a job, then February or March of this year, upcoming year, we will do a youth job fair for 12th graders so we can know that you can have a job, because I've asked the business community to promise me 1,000 jobs for young people when they graduate from high school, because everybody doesn't want to go to college. So one of the things that I really need help on, and you've done this before, I want us to dedicate a Sunday, all the churches throughout this city, to dedicate a Sunday to raising money so that we can get more young people working. The city can't do this work by themselves. You know, we raised close to $14 million this year so that young people could work, because they too want to earn a decent living. I looked at the squeegee kids that stand on the corners, and you all see them. Some of you give them money. Sometimes when there's so many of them piled on the corner, you're scared, I'm scared. I start rolling down the window and say, hey guys, come on, look, y'all need to split up. You're 8 people on the corner, how anybody gonna make any money? So, and so everybody wants to take a picture, but here's what we've done, and you'll see this, and I would ask you all to consider doing this as well. So we brought the squeegee kids in. We collected we brought them in, about 20, 25 young people who stand on our corners trying to get money. I actually saw a young boy around 11 or 12 years old at night, 8 o'clock at night, on the corner. And I rolled my window down. I said, where's your parents? He said, she over there. She's sitting on the sidewalk while he's out trying to collect money as the squeegee kids. So here's what we've done. And I ask you all to consider this as well. So we brought them in, and we've had conversations. We've actually got them now in entrepreneur training, about 20 of them. So we had them, we're doing what we call pop-up car washes. You know, you got to talk their language. So we decided that we're going to do pop-up car washes, and we're going to, I think ours is 2 weeks from now, we're going to have them pop up at City Hall on the cobblestones. They design their own shirts. I mean, they are so excited. They've been in entrepreneur training, but we've got to meet young people where they are. Yeah. I know many of you have seen the, what's the program where you come out and they tell you, you know, you pitch your business? Shark Tank. Shark Tank. So we have a program modeled after Shark Tank. It's called Teen Biz Challenge. I've raised about $75,000 for this particular program. And we have about 40 young people. And I think it takes place next Friday, this Friday coming up at Open Works. Jack, I know you're going to be there. And they are going to be competing to jumpstart their businesses. So we got about 40 young people competing.
And these are youngsters?
These are young people.
What ages?
Starting from 14 years old and up. But I can tell you, I met a young man in the park. He does, we have, you know, we do the markets on Wednesday at Druid Hill Park. He has pizza, what does he call it? It's like a sweet pizza. Oh, cookie pizza. That's what it's called, cookie pizza. He's 9 years old. And
but
so,
that's when we have to start.
But that's where we have to start. But I believe counting our students, knowing where they are, making sure if you're going to college, if you're going to go to work, if you're going to go into the armed services, and that's what we're going to prop up in March. But also on September the 27th, because it really is about economic development and opportunity. So on September 27th at the Convention Center, we're doing a citywide job fair. You all know I talked about this. I talked about this when I was here, about having mobile units go out into the city. We've got one on the street through the library. I have another one coming in January or February because they've got to outfit it. Because we're going to go to the neighborhoods, go to the communities. Because so many people have just given up hope, you all. And so we've got to give them back that hope.
You see, it's not always as bleak as it sounds. I need you all to give our mayor, who is on the case, a major round of applause. I asked her, I said, has it been a busy weekend? She said, I didn't get to bed till 3 o'clock this morning. But these are the things she's working on to stop some of what's happening in our city. Come on, give her a big hand. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
And thank you, New Psalmist. You know, can I just say one other thing,
Yes.
Bishop? In January, I asked the community to help me reduce violence in the city. And I asked 30 people, which turned into 90 people, and they would come and meet with me. And when I propped it up at Baltimore Community College and I said, please come help me reduce violence in our city, I prayed that night. I said, Lord, just don't let it be empty. The auditorium was packed. Over 400 people showed up to get into the action. So anytime you hear a call to action, and that's why I'm grateful to the ceasefire people, because they took it in their own hands. They say, stop the violence. Even if violence occurs, this thing will take time. We've got federal partners in here, and I gotta tell you this, not since 2002 have we had as many police officers currently applying to be Baltimore police officers in our academy. We gotta get police officers on our streets, and we're going to do that. And I just ask you all to continue to pray for me, to work with us, to lift the city up. Every time somebody says negative, tell them something positive. Every time somebody wants to shoot our city down, raise our city up. We can change the trajectory of our city, but it's how we see our city, and it's how we lift our young people and respect our elders and work together. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Come on, give her a big hand.